Gordon Chang is a China expert, and he joins us now. If China has to jump through hoops to get oil, why don't they help us open the strait?
Stuart, great question. And I think the answer is that China would like to see the U.S. paralyzed and held down in Iran because their propaganda is malicious. We hear it all the time. So they see that this war continuing, even though they're not getting oil in the quantities that they once did, is helping them. And so we've got to understand the hostility of the Chinese regime. They just view anything that hurts the United States as good for China.
Well, didn't they discuss this at the summit that President Trump and Xi Jinping had very recently? Surely this came up.
I'm sure that it did, and I'm sure the Chinese are not telling, are not complying with that. Whatever promises they made to President Trump, that's standard operating procedure. And at some point, the U.S. has got to do something, because it's not only this shadow fleet on the water, it's also these two rail lines that connect Iran to China, where we're seeing transfers of oil. So the United States can stop this. We know what is going on, and we're not doing it. So this is on us.
Okay, wait a second. How do we stop it?
Well, first of all, we can take out those rail lines, and it would not require much in the way of force. We would have to bomb them, but I think once we do that, those lines are cut. The other thing that we do is we're going to have the U.S. Navy in the Indo-Pacific off Malaysia start seizing those vessels. The United States Navy has already seized vessels pursuant to the Iran blockade thousands of miles from the Strait of Hormuz. We just need to up the effort. Because, this is going on in plain sight, Stuart. And why we are allowing this, I don't know. Because, if Iran continues to get revenue from China, this war just continues. And yes, it's a ceasefire, but it's also becoming a stalemate. And it doesn't look good for the United States.
All right, let's switch subjects. Let's move on to Cuba. There are questions surrounding an intelligence facility. It's in Cuba. It's right outside Havana. What are the Chinese doing there?
The Chinese have at least 4 listening posts on Cuban soil. They took over, for instance, the Lourdes facility, which during the Cold War was the Soviet Union's largest listening post outside of the Soviet territory. The Wall Street Journal a couple years ago also reported that the Chinese were talking to the Cubans about establishing a military base on Cuban soil. I don't think that has actually started yet, but clearly the Chinese intention is there. But we do know that every single day, every single moment, the Chinese are listening to all of that military traffic in the southeastern portion of the United States, especially in Florida, which has a heavy concentration of the U.S. military bases.
Well, in any settlement with Cuba, removing the Chinese outposts, that's got to be a part of the deal, surely.
Surely, and that will happen. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Chinese are nervous and why they are supporting the Cuban regime. But again, they're just bystanders. They saw what we did in Venezuela. They saw what we're doing in Iran. And they can't actually stop the United States when President Trump is determined. He doesn't seem to be too determined now about some things. But if he changes his mind, then it makes life very, very difficult for the Chinese.
Gordon Chang, thanks for joining us this morning. We always appreciate it. Thanks very much.